you're just waiting for it to be done, and it's more relief than anything that it's done and it's over, and we can stop talking about it and get on with next season.
But this was the place to do it, wasn't it? In front of those fans here. That's special.
And that's what tonight's about, it's about the players, it's about the fans. It's great because it's here, most fans as possible can be here, and all the family members, whereas if you do it away from home, it's such a small amount of people who get to actually enjoy that. So for it to happen here, and the players and Daniel and the staff get the adulation they deserve, and the fans get a chance to show their appreciation, it's a perfect end to what's been a pretty good season.
It's been a memorable season, hasn't it? But what have the last few weeks been like, with this on the verge of happening but not quite being over the line until tonight?
Yeah, it's been a bit annoying, because you're sort of trying to remind everyone that we're unbeaten in 15 now and we've won 11 of them, and suddenly a draw away at Stoke's a disaster, when it's like at the start of the season everyone would have gone, "God, I get a point at Stoke, that's great." So I think it's been sort of difficult keeping everyone level and keeping everyone realising that we're doing okay. And if it was easy to cross the line, if it was easy to get promoted, then everyone would do it. So no team gets promoted easily. So it's hard, and it should be a struggle, because to achieve anything in life, it should be, or anything worth having, should be difficult. So yeah, it's been an interesting few weeks, but I think we've learned a lot from it. And I think if I look at our young team, even if I look at our young staff, everyone will be stronger for this experience and would have learnt a lot from it, and it'll stand everyone in good stead for the future, which is great.
I remember talking to you at the start of the season. It was another summer of great change, with all the money you had to make the players that left, and I remember you saying, "We hope we've got it right." Did you think this was possible at the start of the season?
Yeah, I believe anything's possible, or there's no point getting out of bed in the morning if you don't believe you can achieve something. But if we're being realistic, did we expect to be stood here with automatic promotion at the end of the season? No, of course not. Did we expect to be a lot better than last season? Yeah, we did, because we backed the work that we'd done over the last year as a group, and we backed the work that we did in the summer. So we always knew that something could be possible, and I think if you have an unbelievable spirit, if you can generate a great culture and you have good players, then anything's possible. And I think we've shown that, and I think hopefully we've shown the people out there who believe that you have to have money, you have to have experience, and you have to do it a certain way. Hopefully we've proved them people wrong, and there's a lot of people who were really, really critical of us in the last year, and Daniel and I have taken a lot of stick personally, and tonight's a real pleasing night to remember them people.
What about Daniel Farke, the job that he's done?
Incredible, and I think what's been difficult, if you look at some of the stick he got last year, and you're trying to get people, and listen, since I walked in the door, and you guys know this, I've always believed in telling the truth, and trying to be as transparent as possible, and we didn't lie. On day one I said, listen, this club's in a mess and it's going to take some sorting out, and during last year there was a lot of pain, but we said that pain was going to come, and when Daniel was getting a lot of stick, it's like, give the guy a break. He's inherited a ridiculous wage bill, a ridiculous age squad, a horrendous culture. That takes time to turn around, because if it was easy, then everyone would turn it around and everyone would be successful. But I always said, I think I said when we appointed him, we got the best coach in the league. Nothing's ever changed my mind on that. And even last season, if we look at the work he did, every single day was incredible, and we're extremely fortunate to have him, and it was great. We've got him tied down to a long contract, because like the players, I'm sure he'll be sought after, and there'll be people glancing over now, having a little look. But one thing with him, he's committed to the cause, and he's been a breath of fresh air for us, and we're really fortunate to have him, and hopefully he'll be here for a long time.
The questions will come about what this club can do in the Premier League. Have you thought much about that yet, or is it just a case of enjoying this, because this is worth enjoying?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think getting promotion isn't easy. Everyone says it's the hardest league in the world to get out of, promoted. Maybe it's easy to get relegated, but I think tonight it's about trying to enjoy it, and I think it's about the players tonight. It's about Daniel. It's about the fans. This is what football's about. Is nights like this. It's not about people like me talking about what the future looks like. I feel like we've climbed Everest, and we've got to the summit. We've got to try and get back down it now, and then reclimb it again. So it's not going to be easy, but it'd be boring if it was easy. I can't imagine life being easy. It'd be pretty boring. So we'll enjoy tonight. We'll enjoy what comes over the next couple of weeks, and then really get our heads into pushing forward with a plan for next season.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stuart, having achieved it at Huddersfield, did you actually think you could achieve it again in such a quick turnaround?
Yeah, I wouldn't have come here if not, and I don't say that with any arrogance, but I think what we achieved at Huddersfield was close to a miracle in footballing terms. Appreciate not a life or death miracle, but if you get good people with you and you get people working hard and you get people working towards a cause and you get everybody sticking together, from you guys, the supporters, the board, down to the people who work on the grounds at the training ground, if everyone works together, it's unbelievable what you can achieve as a group of people. And that's what we've done, you know. At Huddersfield, it wasn't one man, it wasn't me, it wasn't David, it wasn't the chairman, it was a lot of people putting in unbelievable hard work. And it's the same here, you know. Quite rightly, you know, Daniel, the players, myself will get great plaudits, and we're grateful for all of them. But it's a massive team effort, and you know, we've got some incredible staff who are ridiculously committed, who love dearly this club and working in this industry and work hours and put themselves on the line. We've got players that are the same, and you know, even if you look at players in the squad, like Ivo Pinto, who's hardly kicked a ball, he's there every training session, giving everything, helping Max Aarons, making him a better player. And I think that's the key, if you get everyone working like that. And so yeah, it is achievable, because everything's achievable. And like I said, I wouldn't have come here if I didn't truly believe that we could get this club back to the Premier League.
And you talk about the contribution of the younger players. How impressive have you been, the fact that they've been involved all the way through, not just dipping in and out, all the way through? I
think it's amazing. I think it's unbelievable credit to them, unbelievable credit to Daniel, because it's easy to give somebody 4 minutes in the Carling Cup away at Wickham or whatever. It's different to give them a full debut at Portman Road or Leeds away and these type of places, and you know, where it's hard. And then when a young player makes a mistake, to keep them in and go again. And if you take Ben Godfrey, you've got 2 top international centre halves on the bench, one of which is our club captain. So unbelievable credit to Daniel, but unbelievable credit to them players, because they've got the shirts by merit and they've kept them by merit. And you know, we're extremely proud of them. And you know, the most pleasing thing for me out of the whole season has been watching the growth of our, promotion's nice and that's great, but that's a byproduct of the work which goes on. The most pleasing thing has been watching these young players develop every single day on the training pitch and in games, and I'm extremely proud of them.
Superb. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Stuart, does this feel especially satisfying, given that last year was a transitional year, and as you alluded to, there were some perhaps harsh negative comments aimed a little bit early into the new era?
Yeah, people went a bit early, I think.
Does this feel doubly satisfying, that, if you like, you've proved that you were right?
Yeah, I'm not sure about proving I was right, absolutely not, because it's not my way, it's not Daniel's way, it's our way as a football club, and we've always tried to be clear about that. It's about building a legacy. I think what's most pleasing for me is we've already got more to show for this Premier League promotion than the last few, because we've built a training ground, which is going to be fantastic. And on July the 1st, when our players return, they're going to return into a Premier League training ground. And I remember 2 years ago when I come sitting with Wes Ulan and Russell Martin, who we'll get to celebrate in a couple of weeks, which will be amazing as well. Them talking that we've been here 10 years, we've had 2 promotions, and the training ground's the same as 10 years ago. So we've already got more to show for it. So to be honest, if I get sacked tomorrow, I don't care, because it's like, look, we've built this and we've got a legacy, and that's really pleasing. And for all the people and all the noise, I have a sign up in my office saying ignore the noise. Sometimes it's not possible to always ignore them, but they help motivate us, because there's nothing better than proving people wrong. And you know, it's, for me, the most satisfying feeling this season has been shutting some of them people up. People who doubted us, people who doubted the club's way. You need new owners, we don't need these owners. Now we've got the best owners in the world again today, by the way. You know, and that's football, and we have to deal with it. But I'm unbelievably delighted for them, because you know, I remember Brentford at home last year, them singing some songs about Delia, and I walked in and I thought, how can you speak about someone who cares about the club so deeply, who's given this to this club? So tonight, to see her face and have a hug off her at the end, it's amazing, and that'll live with me forever. The few words that she said to me, and I'm just delighted for her and for Michael.
Will that be private, what she said to you? Is that just?
Yeah, of course. You know, there's some things which we have to talk a lot now to you guys, and that's right. And it's we're an industry where we want to share things with fans, but there's certain moments, there's certain conversations, and I had one with Daniel and a couple of the players, and with Delia, which will always remain just between me and them.
And special for that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And can I ask, you said something quite interesting. You said, we scaled Everest, we've now got to come back down it and scale it again. What does next season look like, or at least the next few weeks looking ahead to next season look like? Yeah,
I mean, we've done a lot of preparation already, because we couldn't afford to be asleep at this. We've always had to have 2 plans, as we had last year, to be honest. Unfortunately, we had to exercise the Championship one. So I think for us now, it's getting on with our work, and that's probably the most relieving thing about tonight, is tomorrow morning we can start the new season from my side, and let Daniel and the players sort of crack on with getting drunk and doing what they need to do. But from my side, and Kieran Scott and the rest of the recruitment team, it's about, right, what's next, and how do we improve this? Because because it's unbelievably important we give ourselves the best opportunity we can of being successful next season within the constraints that we've got and doing it our way. But that's what we have to do, and that's what we have to strive to do.
And the phrase that people come up with is help the group. Presumably you will be looking to help the group, and Michael had said bring in some fresh blood. That will have to happen, won't it?
Not necessarily has to happen. I think it naturally will happen. But we've also got a lot of young players. We've got, I believe, or we believe, there's a lot of growth still within them players. And even some of the senior players, we still think there's some growth in there. We don't think their journey has ended in the Championship. But what we can't do is we can't lose the spirit and the culture that got us here. And we can't sacrifice slightly more quality, but for much less attitude, because guess what, the quality won't win, the attitude will win. So anyone who joins our club, they have to fit in. If they don't, we don't want you, whether you're the best player ever or not. We have a certain values that we adhere to, and it's taken a long time to get them in the club and get a group of players who live them and breathe them every day. So we're not going to let that go. And to be honest, if I walked back in and the owner said to me, no, go and spend a load of money and bring a load of superstars in who've got bad attitudes, I'd walk out the door and go, no, that's not happening on my watch. So because I know what it's like to get them out, because I've just spent 2 years trying to do it. So it's we just can't let ourselves get back to that position.
Always rude, Mike Liggins, BBC, always rude to talk about money, but do you have an idea of the sort of sum of money that you might spend?
No, obviously we've got some ideas, but no, there's a lot of things to sort of be found out and look at yet.
No. But overall, can you give us an idea of some of the financials? Can you give us some of the numbers?
No, and I don't think tonight's about that, to be honest. I think we've got plenty of time to look at that. I think tonight's about enjoying. Let's not forget, nobody backed us for this. Not one person I saw backed us to get anywhere near promotion this year, especially not automatic, especially with a game to go. And worst case now we're going to finish joint top and lose out on goal difference is a worst case. So I think tonight's about enjoying that, and then about looking forward at what the future looks like. But one thing we know, we won't spend a lot of money because we haven't got a lot of money. That's a fact. We're a self-funded club, and everyone talks about certain figures within the Premier League. They soon go. It's like winning the lottery. You soon spend it if you're not careful.
And people are asking about whether you have to sell. Do you have to sell?
No, that's one thing we don't have to do.
No. So you won't?
Well, I didn't say we won't, but we don't have to.
No. Well done.
No worries.
Congratulations.
Sorry, Stuart, can I just ask you a couple? How fitting would the title be to finish the job off?
It'd be great. I think we deserve to win a league. In my opinion, we've been the best team. If we don't, we don't. We're not going to sit up and cry about it all night. But I think for this group of players to go and finish it off now would be amazing. And we've got the points total of 94, which was achieved in 03-04 with a pretty special team. With Hucks and you and Roberts and all these sort of guys. So it'd be great to try and level them and win the league title, and for all the players and staff to have a medal around their neck and something to show their grandkids for years to come. Something Nigel Wormington said when he comes and spoke to the players: go and win that medal, get promoted first, go and win the medal. So hopefully we can finish that off, but it depends how big the hangovers are, I suppose.
True. And just last one, when did you believe this was going to happen? At what point this season did you go, you know what? Whoa.
I think there's two moments for me. I think there was Forest away when we turned it around. For me, we played amazing first half, but we're 1-0 down, and they were in decent form then. I think they were fourth, and I remember driving home from that, and I said to my wife, I said, we're not bad, actually. We're maybe a little bit better than what we think. I think we could be up there with a chance of the top six. At that point, it sort of sunk in, and then probably the moment it sunk in that we could get promoted automatically was Leeds away. I think to go and put in a performance in that atmosphere, under that pressure, with the whole Spygate rubbish which was going on at the time and the noise around it, to go and be 3-0 up after 70 minutes and clear out a stadium showed that this group have got an unbelievable mentality. So we knew by then we knew they were good players, and we knew they were a good team, and on their day they could beat anyone. But to go and do it in them circumstances was amazing. I think that night I thought, actually, if we don't get promoted automatically now, we'll probably blame ourselves rather than going, we're not quite good enough. I think at that point we proved that we were good enough.
At this point, just finally, I mean, is this as good as it gets in terms of this feeling now, do you reckon, in terms of involved in football?
I hope not. I hope not, because I'd like to think there's more to achieve than winning the championship or getting promoted out of the championship. And that's no disrespect for the championship, because it's everyone tells us it's the hardest league in the world to get off, but you know, I'd like to think there's more to come for this group of players and for this group of staff. But yeah, of course, it's a nice feeling. But to be honest, the feeling is more of relief, just to get it done and out of the way, and you know, get rid of some of them financial burdens that we've had to deal with. To have a training ground paid for, you know, it's really exciting times, you know, and we've finally got something to be really proud of about getting to the Premier League, rather than just having a few days out and you know, enjoying a few nights out. We've got a bit more to show for it, I think.
And just finally, does it excite you that this model you're going to take to the Premier League? Not many clubs do it that way. That's going to be interesting how you go about it and what that does in the Premier League, because most other clubs do it a different way.
Yes, it's a huge challenge, and let's be realistic. We'll be the favourites to get relegated, and you know, we'll have all the experts saying that we'll be the worst team and worst points, etc., etc. And that's what we're up against again. It's like I say, we're starting at the bottom of Everest, go on and try and get up there. So it'll be tough, and we know that. We'll give it our best shot and see how far that takes us. But yeah, I don't think tonight we need to look sort of too deep into that.
Well done, Stuart. Top man.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.